would like to now invite Dr. Jim Watterston up. He's the Dean of the Graduate School of Education, and we're very happy to have him here to officially open our conference today. So thank you, Jim.
I said this yesterday, but I'm very glad when people clap when I come up, because I may not be that good and you might not clap at the end, so having a clap at the beginning is terrific. Thank you, Kate, for that introduction. Glad that you're very happy to have me here. I'm the old person that they roll out to do the ceremonial welcome. I've been doing that for about 15 years. I've just come into being the Dean 18 months ago. It's worth telling you that my history is as a teacher, then a principal, then a regional director, then Director General and a Deputy Secretary here in Melbourne. And so I've had a lot of time in schools and in school systems is the point I want to make. So in welcoming you all here today, I just want to reinforce the value of professional development like this and acknowledge the Mathematics Association of Victoria partnering with the Melbourne Graduate School of Education and our wonderful maths team in the graduate school to be able to present to you cutting-edge professional development. There are lots of professional developers around Australia. It's not a bad way to earn a dollar by getting out of the classroom and developing something new and presenting it at schools on professional development days. Not all of it is fantastic, and so we can certainly quality assure what you're going to be talking about and learning today. I'm really impressed, though, that we've got early childhood people here today along with primary people. We all know the research, we all know how this works in practice. The earlier that you can engage young people in anything and set those dispositions so that they last throughout their educational journey and then into the real life part, the earlier you can do that, the more likely there's going to be outstanding success. And then the later people have to be developing intervention, the less likely there's going to be success. So I think it's really important that we've got the most important people in the room today to think about how you can create that engagement and really switch young people onto maths, because we see coming through Year 12, not everyone ends up following through and taking maths subjects, and in a world that we're all moving into, a turbulently changing world with artificial intelligence and globalisation and automation, people who don't have STEM subjects and are focused on adding value to knowledge that we already have probably aren't going to have the successful pathways that we might have had. I recently went to a funeral at a Catholic church, and a bit sad, but one of the great things, I'm not a Catholic, one of the great things about going into the Catholic church is during the Mass they get you to stand up and shake hands with each other. I want to do that in a minute, because what I think about professional development is that it's great having fantastic presenters like Duncan in a minute, and Wee Tiong's here, as spoke yesterday. But I think the best part about professional development, if you use your time wisely, is meeting the other people in the room. They've all grappling with the same issues that you are. They've all got problems of practice that they've sort of here on behalf of their school teams to sort of think about and talk about. And so working with like-minded people, talking about what some of those issues are, how they deal with them in their school, is the best way to transfer knowledge. It's the best way to find out about successful practice, and if you wanted to follow up, to go and do that. So I want you to stand for 30 seconds, but not yet, and meet someone that you haven't met, with a view to checking in with them at lunchtime to see how the conference is going for them. So 30 seconds. I realise it's been a long time since I've been in the classroom, so that was always going to happen, but I expected it, and I'm glad, because one of the things that I did for 15 years as a regional director or director general or whatever was go into staff rooms at morning tea time, and when you heard a noise like that, you knew you were in a great school. Yeah. You knew that you were with people that were really keen to engage with each other, and that team approach is what makes the difference. And so listening to that noise then and seeing people genuinely meeting each other and enjoying that was fantastic. Can I ask, I know this is a bit of a bother and I'll never catch you out, but can I ask at lunchtime that you just find that person and just check in and ask them how the conference is going and what they might have picked up, and see if there is some kind of connection. Professional development is always better on a Friday. That's just how it goes. And I think professional development is always better on a Friday after the West Coast Eagles have won on Thursday night. So I'm from Western Australia, but I just want to finish by reinforcing the importance of professional development. Again, because I've been a senior bureaucrat and principal and all those other things, I know the actual resource cost, the dollars that it costs to send people to professional development. So I want you to feel some pressure about being here, because you are coming to represent your school, you are coming to take back knowledge to your school, and so that translation or transition of the knowledge from in this room back to your school is fundamentally important, because we can't afford for you to be out of your classroom unless we're adding value and there's a positive effect. Otherwise, you're much better off being back there. So this will be a better day, I'm absolutely certain. You will be able to, question some of the people here, some of the experts, and listen to what they've got to say and engage with that knowledge, and hopefully share it with everyone back in your school environment. I've just finishing a review of curriculum in South Australia, and so it's been really interesting for me to interview hundreds of people, lots of teachers, over the last month or two, and it's been reinforced to me how hard it is to work as a teacher, full stop. It's such a big job implementing the whole of the Australian curriculum, trying to fit it in. The breadth is too great for the time you've got. But worse than that, people have been reinforcing to me is that doing it on your own, translating the Australian curriculum into units of work, then lessons where you go and find the resources, and then you assess it, and then you report on it, and then you intervene. It's too much for one person, and I'm acutely aware of that, and I'm going back to report to the leaders in South Australia in 2 weeks, and I'm going to remind them of how impossible it is for people to do this on their own. Why am I telling you all this? Because you need to make sure that you don't do this on your own, that you don't take back what you learnt today and do it on your own. Linda Darling-Hammond, who's a really well-known educator from Stanford University in California, said the most profound thing I've ever heard. It's very simple. She said, teaching is a team sport. But we don't look at schools and see teams all the time. When I think of a team, a professional learning team, I think of people who come together, have a common interest, but they divide up the task. They do a bit each so that it's easier for everyone, rather than sitting around and talking and adding more time, adding more value, adding more sort of layers to the work. I'm really keen for teachers, if you're not doing it already, and I'm sure many of you are, working in teams, but sharing the tasks out, so you don't have to do everything yourself, and you can actually concentrate on the act of teaching, which is the best part of it, and the part that engages people, which is where I started today. So that's plenty from me. I am excited on your behalf because you get this great chance today. But as my final point was, there's a lot of research that says that when you go to professional development on a Friday and then you have Saturday and your team wins or loses and then Sunday, not a lot of it gets back on Monday. So really do your best today to try and make sure that you can take something back to your workplace with you, and you can help other teachers in your school overcome that terrible feeling of never having done your homework. I feel like since I was 5 years of age I've never finished my homework, because there's always more and more to do. But when you do it together, there's some chance. So good luck for today. I know it's going to be a great day, and make sure you catch up with your friend at lunchtime. Thanks.